The topic that we discuss in this video is differentiation of functions. Differentiation. Or calculating the derivatives of a function. Let's assume that we have f of x equals x. The derivative of this function with respect to x. This is the Leibniz notation. Or you can write f prime of x. This is the Lagrange notation. Equals 1. F of x equals ax plus b. It's a linear function. F prime of x equals ax plus b prime. And this is equal to a. F of x equals c, a constant function. F prime of x equals, the derivative of a constant function is equal to 0. F of x equals x to the power of n. F prime of x equals n goes down, and then you write x to the power of n minus 1. The power, it decreases by 1, goes down by 1. F of x equals e to the power of x. The exponential function stays the same when you differentiate it. E to the power of x ln e. Ln e is 1. What you get is e to the power of x. You have the function f of x equals a to the power of x. The derivative of this function is a to the power of x times the natural logarithm of alpha. F of x equals square root of x. Here you can write this f of x, x to the power of a half. The derivative of this function is a half times x to the minus a half, or you can write 1 over 2 times the square root of x. F of x equals the natural logarithm of x. The derivative of this function is 1 over x. F of x equals sine x. The derivative of this function equals cos x. F of x equals cos x. The derivative of the function is minus sine x. F of x equals tan x. This is sine x over cos x. The derivative of this function is sine x derivative cos x minus sine x cos x derivative over cos squared of x. The derivative of sine of x is cos x, is cos squared of x. The derivative of cos x is minus sine x. It becomes plus sine squared of x over cos squared of x. And this, the numerator is 1. The denominator is cos squared of x. So f prime of x equals 1 over cos square of x. You have the derivative of the cotangent equals cos x over sine x. Let's calculate the derivative. Is cos x prime sine x minus cos x sine x prime divided by sine squared of x. The derivative of cos is minus sine, so it's minus sine squared of x, minus the derivative of sine is cos minus cos squared of x divided by sine squared of x. So my numerator is minus 1 over sine squared of x. F of x equals sine hyperbolic of x. The derivative of this function is the derivative of e to the x is e to the x, and the derivative of this is plus e to minus x, and this is cos hyperbolic of x. F of x equals cos hyperbolic of x. The derivative of this function is e to the x plus e to the minus x divided by 2 derivative is a half e to the x minus e to the minus x, and this is sine hyperbolic of x. F of x equals tan hyperbolic of x, sine hyperbolic of x over cos hyperbolic of x. F prime of x equals sine hyperbolic of x derivative cos hyperbolic of x minus sine hyperbolic of x cos hyperbolic of x derivative over cos hyperbolic squared of x. The derivative of sine hyperbolic of x is cos hyperbolic, so it's cos hyperbolic squared of x minus sine hyperbolic squared of x over cos hyperbolic squared of x. Cos hyperbolic squared minus sine hyperbolic squared is 1 over cos hyperbolic squared of x. F of x equals cotangent hyperbolic of x, and this is cos hyperbolic of x over sine hyperbolic of x. Let's calculate the derivative. Should be cos hyperbolic of x prime sine hyperbolic of x minus cos hyperbolic of x sine hyperbolic of x prime divided by sine hyperbolic squared of x. The derivative of cos x is sine x, so it should be sine squared here, minus the derivative of sine is cos, so minus cos hyperbolic squared of x. The denominator is sine hyperbolic squared of x. This is minus 1 over sine hyperbolic squared of x. Yeah, I believe I have all the functions here. I have the identity function, the linear function, the constant function, the monomial x to the power of n, the exponential, the square root, the natural logarithm, the trigonometric ones, and the hyperbolic ones. I will make another video, part 2, with more worked out examples.